Hi, good morning. What I'm going to do is show you how to make a Google form today. So the way we start with a Google form is we're going to go up here and open up a new tab. And when I open up a new tab, I get my Google Drive. And if you don't, you'll have to go find your Google Drive. But my Google Drive is right there. So I'm going to open that up first. And I'm going to make a really simple form today. And so I've got my information all here organized into folders. And if I need to create a folder, I just go up here to create and click right there. And I can create a new folder and name it. But I already have a folder down here for this little workshop, and it's called Forms. So I'm going to click on that. And I've got some stuff in there already, but let's make a form that we're a real simple form today. So I'm going to go up here to Create, click here, and I'm going to click on Form. Opens up a new tab. The first thing we're going to do is we can title our form. So we'll call it just a basic form for this one, and then we can pick a template, and we have some different choices for templates here to pick. So really pick anything. I'm going to pick this one right here. It looks okay. Hit OK, and it's not showing me this template right now, but it will show up when your students look at it. So the first thing we want to do is we're going to start with our questions, and so we have some question types that we can look at. So we go down here to question types, and right here it gives us a drop-down menu. Click on that, and we can put a question where a student has to put in text, paragraph, maybe multiple choice, checkbox, choose from a list, things like that. So my very first question I'm just going to ask, and this is one of the things that you guys filled out today, is just your name. Always start with that on my forms, and I'll make that a text. One of the things I do anytime I make a form is I want to make it a required question. I want to make sure that the kids have to fill it out. So when it's submitted, if they leave it blank, it pops back up again saying you didn't submit that form properly. I could put a help question, but I think they know their name. And so we're done with that one. Click Done. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add an item right here. And so adding an item lets me add another item into my form. So my next one is sometimes I'll ask them their period. Maybe this time I'll just ask, oops, sorry about that, their email. And that's what I'm going to ask you. Type in your email. Requested question or required question, hit Done. Now I have two things on my form. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little checkbox. So I'm click Add Question. And I'm just asking you some of the things, and this is the stuff that you did this morning, and what do you use Google for? And so this one's going to be some check boxes, because I want to know what you guys use Google for. And so now I click on check boxes here, scroll down a little bit, and it gives me different options. So I'm just going to type in my different options. So email is something that people use Google for. Maybe you already know how to do forms. Click here on the next one. Maybe use it for spreadsheets, because there is a spreadsheet option within Google. Presentations, which are just like the presentations that you could do within PowerPoint. Got Google Docs, which are real similar to using Microsoft Word. And then maybe if you want to create a drawing, and there's actually some other things that you can do. I'm going to make this a required question too. So I'm going to hit Done. So these are the basic 3 questions that I want to ask you today. And so once we've done those, and if I wanted to add more, I could click Add an Item and add more. But I'm okay with what I'm done here so far. So I'm going to scroll down here, and I'm going to click Send Form right here at the bottom. Click Send Form. Now it gives me 2 options. One of the options is the link to share. So this would be the link that we would provide to our students, and this is the link that you saw sitting up on the board when you came in. Actually, it's not really the link you saw. It's similar to the link you saw, and I'll talk about that here in a moment. We also have this embed possibility over here, and embedding means you can take this kind of link and you can embed it onto your website if you have a website. Now, if you don't have a website, that's okay. We'll just use the link to share. So that's what I'm going to do. And so I'm going to click on this, and it highlights in blue, and then I'm going to Control-C it to copy it, and then I'm going to hit Done. Okay, so now I've Control-C'd it, I've copied it, and everything like that. I basically have my form. Now, after I've controlled it, remember I copied that link that I wanted to, but I want to shorten that link up because the Google links are really long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a new tab, and I'm going to type in tiny URL, which is basically a way to take a really long web link and shorten it up. So here's tiny URL, and it says enter a long URL to make it tiny. So I'm going to click on this. Remember I did copy it before, so I'm going to Control V is victory, to paste it in there. And there's that really long link. I can kind of scroll back through here, and you can see it's really long. If I tried to put that on the board, the kids are of course going to get it wrong. And I click Make Tiny URL here. And now it just gives me this really, really short version of it, which is nice. It went from 96 characters down to something really shorter. So I'm going to copy this just like that, highlight that, Control C it, and now I've copied it, and that's really what I'm after. So just to prove that this is going to work and see what it looks like on the student end, I'm going to open up a new tab. I'm going to click up here on my address bar, and I'm going to Control V to paste my little tiny URL, and let's hit enter and see what happens. Okay, so up pops my form that I created. So here's my basic form, their name, their email, and the little checklist that I asked the students and I asked you to fill out. And so you could put this small URL up on the board, or you could have embedded this into a website. Either way works. And that's how it works. And so let's do something really quickly here and see what it looks like from the teacher's end to the student's end. So if I'm going to go ahead and fill this out, I'm going to fill this out with my name. I'm going to fill this out with my email. And I'll kind of go ahead and do this checklist here. And I use email, and I use forms, spreadsheets, and I use presentations and docs. I don't really use drawings, so I'm going to leave that one blank, and I'm going to hit submit. And it tells me, well, I've submitted my form, and I could submit another response, but I don't really want to. Now, if I wouldn't have answered one of those questions, it wouldn't have let me submitted this, and that's what happens. So now up here at the top, I'm going to kind of go back over. And I'm going to click back here to this is my basic form that I was working on. And I can click right here. You see it says responses 1, and I can click on view responses. So I'm going to click on view responses, and there's my responses. I have a timestamp when I entered this, my name, my email, and also I have immediately what I use Google for. So you can use this for your students to get information from them. Now, we don't have to open up that form. What we can also do, I'm going to go ahead and close some of these tabs out. I'm going to find that stuff in my Google Drive. So I'm going to close all this out here. And so if I open up a new tab and I go back to my Google Drive, here's my Google Drive. I'm going to go back to that same folder where I saved everything, which is forms. And what I have is I called my form the basic form. So if I wanted to edit it, I can go there. But I could also go to the responses, and that's the important thing because that's where my students are entering stuff. So I click on there, and up pops that same spreadsheet. So I have my responses. Now, I've set this so I can edit this, but students can't yet. And we can work with that later on if we want to. Is to have the students edit it. And that's really how you create a form. It's that easy. I hope you found something interesting out of there. If you have any questions, please let me know.